Hi everyone, welcome to week 4. I'm so glad to hear that many of you are enjoying the readings that we've had so far. I really hope that you are finding these readings helpful for your own classroom, or you're getting some good ideas for when you have your future classroom. And I also hope that the readings for the rest of the semester will also help you and you'll find just as much enjoyment in those as well. For last week's assignments, I have already submitted my comments on your discussion board posts, and I've already commented on your journals, so you'll be able to access those right now. As far as the journal posts go, I want you to remember that there has to be a 1-page minimum requirement. Make sure you're using APA citations and that your document is single-spaced with no spacing in between the lines. I will be taking points off if those expectations aren't followed. Now for this week, it seems like there's not a lot going on, but don't be fooled by that. As far as the discussion board post this week, you're going to find where in grades K through 12 algebraic expressions occur. You'll find on the discussion board that I have separated the thread into different grade levels or courses. There's one prior to 6th grade, then 6th, 7th, and 8th, Algebra, Geometry, Algebra 2, and Pre-Calc. When you're posting your discussion board posts or where you see algebraic expressions, please make sure you post under the grade level or the course that I've provided to you. That way you see a sequential list of where expressions will occur. Now understand that you might be repeating standards in some of these grade levels. So for example, we see factoring in both 9th grade and 11th grade, or algebra and algebra 2. So it might be helpful if you submitted a task along with the standard, because it could be confusing if you're seeing the same standard in both Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. So for example, if I'm talking about the factoring standard, then Algebra 1's factoring is only factoring out a GCF, greatest common factor, factoring difference of perfect squares, factoring trinomials, and currently factoring trinomials with lead coefficients. When we switch over to next generation standards, for those of you in New York, we do not have to factor out trinomials with lead coefficient. But in Algebra 2, students are now required to factor out difference of perfect cubes and sum of perfect cubes as well. They also see more intense factoring types of questions. So while it's not a requirement that you submit a task with the discussion board, it certainly would be helpful for those who are not as familiar with each grade level. You do not have a response post for this week. The point to this is just to get a list of how the algebraic expression standards sequence from year to year. Now for your journal post for this week, there is no formal submission that is due this week. You are going to be submitting a unit plan next week. Now do not wait until the last minute to work on this unit plan. There's a reason why I'm giving you 2 weeks, and that is because there's a lot involved in these unit plans. Please make sure that you download the unit plan outline as well as the rubric for how I'll be grading it. There's a lot of pieces that you have to meet for each one of those unit plans. And remember, you can work with a partner. Doc students, you can only work with other doc students because there are extra requirements for you. So please don't put these unit plans off until the last minute. Make sure you are working on them over the next 2 weeks. If you're struggling with topics, then you can certainly take a look at the discussion board to help you find the standards that you might want to address. In addition to that, for the formal lesson plans within the unit plan, they do not have to be written in any particular way. I just want to make sure that you hit the main points that I've asked for in the rubric. When I'm asking for sample tasks, you do not need to provide me with every task the students are going to see. You just need to provide me with a couple examples so that basically I know that you know how to address the standards that you're looking at. Those unit plans will be due at the end of next week. Of course, if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to email me. And on a side note, before I finish up, the Math Ed Student Alumni Group is starting to plan another game night. We typically get together every 4 to 6 months to have a game night for everybody to meet, talk about some concerns, ideas, and have a good time. For the next one coming up, we're thinking about doing a night out at Lasertron, or possibly an afternoon out for Lasertron, but we haven't solidified a date yet. So be ready for that when it comes out. I will definitely let you know as soon as I can when we've firmed up a date, and I hope to see you there. In the meantime, enjoy your week.